All right, we're going to start with the punch this morning. Russia-Ukraine war, fuel scarcity may persist, oil vessels face delay on sea. Picture here of people protesting, stop the war. FG directs fleeing Nigerians to head for Romania and Hungary. Hoodlums invade Benue, couple's burial, kill community leader, 8 mourners. Ogun police arrest 5 suspected cultists over cops killing. Lagos resettled community battles, army over the land soldiers attack residents. NDLEA seizes cannabis packaged as black soap at MMA. VAT belongs to state, says Lagos State government and SANS. National Assembly snubs Southern governors, excludes state police from 68th amendments. And Sanu lampoons FG, threatens to ground varsities. Okay, which story?
I'll take this very sad story, but also, you know, shocking, because this is like the second time we're reading a story like this. So they said no fewer than 9 people, although some are reporting that there were 11 people that were killed in this community in Katsina Ala local government in Benue State. It was supposed to be, it was at a burial of this couple, Mr. and Mrs. Ateno Agbev, and they said hoodlums came into the area. There were motorcycles, and they went straight for the traditional leader who was at the burial, searched him, took some things from him, some money, and then shot him, and then went ahead to shoot at other people. The people in the community say that they have been under siege, sort of, by these bandits because they are affiliated and supporters of one kidnapped kingpin called Tewase Akwaza, also known as Ghana, who was killed by the military in 2020. They also said that this could have been a reprisal attack for the military who had come and you know, did an operation that happened, they said, Thursday. So it just looks like, you know, yet another story of broad daylight, hoodlums coming to just attack people, bandits, gunmen, you know, whatever it is, whatever name that we call them right now. Criminals. Come and just do what they can do, kill people and get away with it. Right. But of course, the government, the chairman of the Katsina Ala local government confirmed what happened, and I'm sure the police are on it.
So men of the Ogun State Police Command have arrested 5 suspected cultists for allegedly killing a policeman, Akim Hosseini. The suspects have been on a wanted list for a while now, and while they were planning their next attack, they conveyed themselves at a particular hotel, Prime Hotel, in preparation for an attack when the police got them. So there was an altercation, the shooting. At the end, some of them escaped with bullet wounds, but 5 of them have been arrested, and they confessed to killing this policeman. Also said that they've been involved in cult activities in that area. Right. And one of the ways that they leave their trademark is when they are done, they just cut off the hand of their victims. So the case is still ongoing, and it's been moved to the State Criminal Investigation and Intelligence Department for more discreet investigation.
Okay. Major headlines. So the Russia-Ukraine war and its impact on our economy. Many people didn't really think there was impact, but right now the fuel crisis might be prolonged due to the fact that we produce but we don't refine. Everybody knows we import fuel, and people assume that petrol is being imported from European countries. Actually, some of our produce is actually coming through Russia and from Russia and Ukraine. We have a direct sale, direct purchase scheme where we give people crude oil, and in exchange they give us refined produce. And currently about 17 cargoes are at sea and are unable to come in because of this crisis, and things might worsen. It might prolong for a longer time while we're waiting to see how this will be resolved. Right. What the description is said, this seems like a perfect storm where we already have an issue, and there's some other things independently happening will now compound the issue we're facing. Worrisome. So
for those of us that are excited about the constitutional amendment that was happening, of the 68 reviews that we're expecting, unfortunately 2 key things have been seen as absent in this review. That's state police and restructuring. So state police is something that we've always wanted. It's missing in this review. And remember that the lawmakers will be voting on this tomorrow and Wednesday. So, and also restructuring, where we're saying that there should be 6 independent federating units.
Yeah.
That's really key. What they have really done is dissolve power or develop power from the center to go to state and local government. They haven't really, so they have somewhat done it, but not the way we want it to be done. But we'll see.
So what are they now reviewing if these 2?
Oh, there are other areas.
There are other areas that are being reviewed, but we really wanted.
May I quickly quick NDLA story?
Yes.
I have to take that. So we know I have to take that. So at least 649,300 capsules of tramadol, 225 milligrams, and then over 850 euros in cash were among the consignments from Pakistan, Austria, and Italy intercepted at Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Ikeja. And also, operatives of NDLEA were able to seize a consignment of 131 parcels of cannabis concealed in packages of black soap. And they put their dudu soon, so it was put in those packages and supposed to be sent through the cargo, unit. They would never stop. They'll keep working. And NDLEA also seems that, it's looking like they would never stop. They'll keep working. I, just keep pushing them the best.
BC has one more story in Punch quickly.
Yes, I wanted to take the story. Now I've closed it. Okay, it's here. So residents of Abomiti community in the Lekki area of Lagos State are asking the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahaya, to come to their rescue after some soldiers invaded the community and attacked some residents. So they are claiming that these military men are working with suspected land grabbers to take over a large expanse of land allocated to them by the state government. That Abomiti community is one of the communities that have been resettled when the government took that area for the free trade zone. So they resettled them there. But now it seems like some persons want to take that land and they are using soldiers to intimidate them. They've come with trucks, they try to negotiate. Yes, so they are asking that the government helps them out of this.
Quickly now,
they have the C of O already.
Quickly now to the nation. 2023 INEC polls timeline creates anxiety in APC and PDP. Romania, Poland, okay, free passage to Nigerians from the Ukraine. Lassa fever, 21 killed in 1 week. Banks in last-minute scramble to submit audited reports. New law prescribes 10 years jail for electoral offender. PDP ticket, Wike attacks ex-VP Atiku. And APC wins Ondo, Imo, Cross River by-elections. Okay, which stories?
Electoral offenders risk a jail term of between 1 and 10 years or a fine of between 500,000 and 50 million under the new Electoral Act. The law also bans the use of public places, churches, mosques, and police stations for political meetings and campaigns, also making it an offense for politicians to employ masqueraders during campaigns. They're also saying that the Electoral Act forbids political parties, aspirants, or candidates from retraining, organizing, and training people to, work as their machinery during elections. So crimes like ballots, stealing, if you have the electoral forms and you are not in the election ground, you'll be fined. They listed all the crimes that are...
So there's a lot of tension. Yes. INEC recently released the timeline. So according to INEC, you have to have your primaries between April 4th and June 3rd. Now, what that means is that if you're running for presidential, all the various parties must have this primary within that time. Now, many parties are running over each other to see, the APC and PDP especially, are running over each other to see how they can plan their primaries for that period, especially now that APC's convention is, as we move to March 26th, that's pretty close to that period. Furthermore, if you want to run for office, you have to resign 30 days before the primaries. Now, what that means is that those ministers who are hoping to be president, the few ministers, the few governors who have that ambition, they have to resign right away before the period.
That will have a huge impact on the current government's structure.
So if you're going to want to run, it's about time to start calculating the days and know when to resign. So there's a lot of anxiety going on, and we'll see how it's going to be an interesting electoral process.
Lassa fever has killed 21 Nigerians in 1 week in 8 states between February 14 and February 20. The states with fatalities are Ondo State with 4, Edo with 6, Bauchi 1, Benue 2, Taraba 3, Ebonyi 2, Kogi 1, and Gombe 2. The death rate shows a 90.9% increase. That's from 11 persons the previous week to 21 under consideration. I mean, nearly all the states, are affected by by Lassa fever. We need to do more in...
The governors need to do more.
Well, the government needs to do more, and then you know how we always have to come back to us. We need to be more careful. We know that Lassa fever comes from the waste of rats, so let's just be careful.
All right, let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we continue with the review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. Moving on now to Daily Sun. Russia-Ukraine war, Romania, Hungary approve free visa entry for Nigerians. Nigeria Air to fly before June 22, 2003, says ICRC. How Seplat Energy wants to acquire Mobil producing Nigeria Unlimited. Nigeria may lose multi-billion petrodollar windfall from the 102 barrels per day crude price, experts warn. Abia 2023, Abaribe notifies PDP of Guba ambition. Outcome of PDP presidential primary will shock Nigerians, says Wiki. Okay, major headline?
Major headline. So the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Gabriel Aduda in Abuja yesterday, gave a statement giving the development so far on the Russia-Ukraine war happening right now and about Nigerians, who are trying to flee Ukraine. He has advised Nigerians fleeing Ukraine to move to the Hungarian-Zahoni border and Romanian Suceava, Tulcea, Satu County and the Maramureș borders. For now, movement to the Hungarian-Zahoni border and the Satu County and Maramureș borders are advised, and they would allow for visa-free access for Nigerians. He also mentioned that they are aware of the challenges that Nigerians are facing at the borders, especially the Ukraine-Polish borders, and that they are working hand in hand. Our Ministry of Foreign Affairs is working hand in hand with the Ukrainian side to make sure that things are much more better for Nigerians as they are crossing these borders. Also, ambassadors in Europe, Nigerian ambassadors in Europe are saying that they are united in tackling all the crisis and anything that has to do with our Nigerians as they're trying to move from Ukraine to this
I didn't want to build this up, but as I said earlier, that it's painful that most of the pictures I saw on CNN were talking about white Ukrainians trying to cross the border. I hardly saw black people in those pictures. So it was when these reports came out when I realized that Africans are actually being stranded because, possibly because of racism, they're pushing the black people to one corner because they're prioritizing their people. So I'm happy that our government is trying to also ensure that the safety of our Nigerians are at paramount at this time.
Okay, so the Federal Executive Council in November 2021, if you remember, gave an approval for the commencement of processes to inaugurate the nation's air carrier, Air Nigeria. We remember at the time they said that 49% of the Nigerian Air project will be owned by strategic equity partners, 46% by Nigerians, while the federal government would own just 5% of the shares. Now they are telling us that they are beginning the processes all over again. The state carrier will start working just before the end of President Muhammadu Buhari's administration. And they are working hand in hand. There's a final approval they've just gotten from the president. And once that is sorted, we're hoping to have Nigeria Air or Air Nigeria very soon.
So the former president of Nigeria, Jonathan, obviously there's a lot of back and forth on is he running, is he not running, under which party? There's a lot of confusion. So Governor Wike was responding to what Atiku recently said that he would always clinch the party's ticket. But Governor Wike said, I don't take the delegates for granted. Don't assume that it will shock you who the final person will be that is picked by PDP. I don't know what he means by that. But others have said that the North is deceiving former President Jonathan because they're attracting him to run. But the truth is that because he had already done 6 years, after he's done 2 years, they're likely to impeach him and then bring in his, the vice president at the time will then become the president. So there's a lot of calculations going on. That he should be very careful. And but the judge is saying that, I didn't know that Jonathan is running. He hasn't told me. But he told me he was coming to come and see me. When I see him, I'll confirm. So there's a lot of back and forth. People are analyzing and discussing if President Jonathan would still run. Okay, let's move on quickly to the point. Biting hunger ahead for Nigerians as food crisis deepens. I robbed to raise money for house rent, says Yabatech graduate. Oshu traders defy orders, risk life to eke out living on roadside. And I foresee implosion in APC. It will be tough to retain power in 2023, says Muiz Banire. Okay.
So the food crisis, the Point did an extensive report interviewing people within the agricultural sector, and the complaints are valid again and again that the challenges facing the agricultural sector is going to lead to food crisis. People within the agri space, the chairman of Pig Farmers Association of Nigeria in Osun State said the problem of food crisis is a shortage, or shortage is multidimensional, but the major cause is militia in the north, because after COVID, many people couldn't go to the farm where bulk of the food comes from. Spoke about the impact on the price of wheat, how price has gone from 1,000 to 1,200 to about 6,500. That's a bag of wheat. That's what 100%. That's like 600% increase, and that cuts across with maize as well. So animals are not getting well fed. People are not going to the farm. They said the rice pyramid is little and is more of a show as compared to what we really need, because the borders, imported rice is still coming in. The issues are a whole lot, and it seems like our government isn't taking a full look at how robust the issue is, especially because when they guests that broke it down extensively last week as well. The government needs to do a whole lot. Food has gone up, and it is also sustainable for farmers to continue this system running right now.
Right. Yes, the point. So there's this growing concern over the increasing spate of roadside trading activities in parts of Oshogbo, in Osun State. They mentioned some of the areas. I want to get it. It said Owode Ede, Sekona, Igbona, Otaefun, Old Garage and Station Road, Oshogbo, among others. So the problem is they display their wares all over the roads, and road commuters find it difficult to go through. Even the commercial buses find it difficult to, park and drop their passengers. Everybody is coming out to sell. And there's been a law in the Osun State House of Assembly that prohibits selling on the roadside, and the government is saying that they're going to have to enforce the law right now. The marketers are also saying that they don't come out every day. They just have some market days, I think about on Tuesdays, where they just come out, display their wares, sell, and then go back to their shops till another Tuesday. But the government is saying it's not working for them. That place is really crowded, and something has to be done about it.
Yeah, so a 22-year-old man, Ayodeji Olabisi Jeremiah, has been arrested by the Osun State Police Command for allegedly burgling houses and shops to steal household wares. So the report shows that, first of all, he claims that he's a graduate of Yaba Tech. He graduated in 2018, has lived with his sister, and wanted to, rent a place for himself. He wanted to be independent, and so he decided to go stealing and burgling to raise money for his rent. The report just shows the different things he's taken: plasma TVs from various homes, mattresses, gas cylinders, pillows, just things that values from, 90,000 to things that were worth like 3,000 naira, anything and everything. People's shops, he just went in. He also claims that he works with Dangote cement factory at Ayegbaju area of Oshogbo. He pleaded guilty. Young ones, if you want to be independent, we encourage you to be, but there are different ways to do it. There are legitimate ways to do it, and just take your time.
Nigerian Tribune, quickly, FG confirms 4,000 Nigerians stranded in Ukraine, demands your safe passage. Ogun, Oyo, Osun to suffer prolonged power outage. Lagos Kano train derails in Jebba. Ghana boys kill traditional ruler, 10 others in Benue. Strike, cost of imported vehicles to increase as trapped cargoes accumulate charges. Special report, how 14.37 billion NEPZA diverted funds stalled development in Calabar, Kano free trade zones. Okay, story?
Yeah, so this Lagos Kano train, they call it a narrow gauge train traveling from Lagos to Kano, derailed at Jebba in Kwara State. Even though the report doesn't say if there are any casualties or any damages to the train, it told us about that. And I saw the pictures online, over the weekend, and I was looking forward to reading or getting more information from the papers, but there doesn't seem to be any more information. It just shows that the very last coach, I think, overturned and fell off the tracks, and this happened Sunday morning.
Okay, so unfortunately, sadly, Ogun, Oyo, Osun are likely to experience prolonged power outage. So according to the communications person from the IB Ibadan Disco, Mrs. Kikelomo Oweye, she was saying that the transmission network has dropped from the 692.5 megawatts to 368.5 megawatts. So you're going to be experiencing quite a bit of power reduction in power because the transmission network has reduced what they're bringing to that area. So just so that you are aware. So you don't
I always feel that what should make the news is if we're going to get more power.
We have to is there any important message that ASU have to
Yes, I have ASU, yeah. So
Vanguard.
ASU is accusing the federal government of showing levity. Say they are not taking their matter seriously. The last meeting that they had claimed that the government was acting as if they didn't know the problems. Meanwhile, all the issues that they are, looking to resolve is in public domain. Everybody's aware of it. And the major ones is still talking about the revitalization of university education. They're talking about the integrated personal payroll information system, payment of promotion and salary arrears, among others. And also, okay, I've talked about the IPPIS. They want UTAS, they do not want IPPIS. And they are saying that the only thing that will avert the strike is if government takes them seriously and does something about all the things that they have agreed.
Okay, that's all we can take on Front Page Review. When we come back, move on to our hot topic of the day. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.